welcome back to Java. This one's going to be another loop, the while loop. So a while loop, we write it like this. It's kind of similar to a for loop, but it's different. And the reason why it's different is because this doesn't have a definite number of times that it repeats. Rather, it's based on a condition. So while a condition is true, it will run everything inside of this body. So in order for that to work, we need a boolean. And I think I discussed this earlier, but basically it's a true or false variable. Let's just say, call it exit. This is usually what you call it in a situation like this. And we'll set it equal to false because otherwise just wouldn't make sense. Exit equals false, right? Just like an if statement, you would sort of put that in there like that, right? So it's almost like asking if exit is equal to false, then keep repeating this over and over again. Now, as we can see, what we can do, yet again I make that mistake all the time, system.out.println, and then let's say we want it to say hello a bunch of times. What's going to happen is it's just going to go hello, 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 hello. Let's see what happens. Hello, 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 hello. Right? By the way, ignore what was in the console before. But yeah, you don't need to worry about that. But as you can see, this is not going to stop until I just terminate it manually like that. So yeah, definitely, oh, look, it didn't even print out the last one properly. But you don't want this, because you don't want it to be running for eternity. So instead, so obviously you're going to have to figure out a way to get out of this loop, a way to escape the loop. Well, this is an interesting thing you can do, and this incorporates what we learned before about scanners. So we create a scanner, input equals new scanner, and then we could call it, and we do system.in. So we create our scanner, and now that we have a scanner, let's just create a variable for that scanner. So in this case, we'll say int code, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to ask for a code in order to exit out of the while loop. So in this case, let's say enter code, alright, like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and we're going to go code equals to input dot next int. So this is kind of similar to what we did with next line, which is a string, next int if it is an int that you want to input. So it will look for the next int, and it will then use this. So this is kind of using all the stuff we've learned, well, most of it that is, and we'll say if this code is equal to, let's say 0 for now, then exit equals, no, we don't have to do that, equals true, right? Exit equals true. And yeah, we don't have to put an else right now, but let's see what happens when we run this. So what's going to happen is it's going to ask us to enter the code, and we put 1, it's going to ask us to enter it again, because it checked to see if it was 0, and it wasn't, so it doesn't make exit true. So let's try that again. Maybe 2, no, that's wrong. 3, no, that's wrong. 2, no, 1, I already did that. 6, 8, 5, 9, 0. Oh, 0 was right, and then it terminates, as you can see. So we'll continue to repeat the code every single time until you get it right. And you could also have an indicator that you got it right too. So in this case, we could go else. This could be an indicator that you got it wrong. So system.println, and we could say in here wrong as a little bit of a result. And then what we have up here is we have exit equal to true. We could go above that. We could be under, I guess. system.out.print line, and then we could say correct, and we could even put a little bit of hype into that as well. So what's going to happen now is if the code is not correct, as in anything but 0, it'll give us wrong, and it'll continue to ask for the code. If the code is correct, then we will get a correct indicator, and then it'll be exit is true, and then we'll escape the not for loop, the while loop. So let's give that a try. Enter code. All right, 2 wrong, enter code. 4 wrong, enter code. 5 wrong. All right, is it 0? Correct, and then it terminates the program because we've escaped the while loop and there's nothing down here, so we're done. So there's that, right? So that's basically a very simple way to look at a while loop. It's a very simple way to do it. Don't mind that. This is pretty much how you would, usually this is how you would have some sort of a video game, for example. If you're making a video game, you would normally have a loop that is constantly updating all the variables and updating the frames of the graphics. So it's very good to know how to use while loops. But yeah, this is pretty much the basics of while loops. There's a few little things, but oftentimes it's best just to know the main foundational knowledge, and everything else kind of just falls into place after that anyway. So yeah, there you go.